Hey, Earthlings, we're live on the Twinternet, so welcome along.
We're live, yeah.
Yeah, this is the last advert for the last show, Ronnie. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm terrible. I'm going to go back in jail so we can make a few more.
Well,
what we're going to do. Do you remember that film Hat and Garden? Hat and Garden, about those old robbers that were all really old, and they went and did this raid in London, didn't they? Broke into this vault and nicked millions of pounds.
Oh, is that like the Ealing comedies or something?
No. It's an actual true, a real thing that happened a few years ago. Okay. These old sort of robbers and burglars got together and like, oh, we'll do one last raid, and they broke in a bank vault and stole all these like deposit boxes and got millions of pounds. And like one of them nearly died. There's been a film about it. In fact, several films about it, and like one of them nearly died on the raid. He was a diabetic, and he went in a coma while they're actually doing the thing, you know. And the guy had to inject him with some EpiPen or something, and all that. And
people, you've tuned into film reviews with Ronnie Lee.
We tried a film review of that. Well, I was thinking you and I, we could do like an ALF version of Hat and Garden, couldn't we? Like like one last raid just for old time's sake. And then
you still got your balaclava. I know that they were only used.
We'll go at the back of the cupboard, like we'll get it out. It's all smelly and that. Put that on, and
so
then after
everyone
come out,
I'm gonna do an executive thing and shut Ronnie up for a second. And welcome Declan. So this is unusual in the sense that we've already featured you and your sanctuary in this series, Declan. But there's a special reason why you're back, and that's because you got a few hours' notice that there was 200 hens to rescue right from a farm. And essentially, the farmers said, if you can beat the slaughter truck, you can have them. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Roger. Yeah, only the evening before, the next day, they were going to be taken away at dinner time. So we only had a few hours to get on the phone and see if anyone would take them. Sure, no one wanted any. Them only one other sanctuary took 15, so we wound up with 185 of them. So it was a hard decision to make, either see them be killed or rescue them, so it was a fairly sleepless night for myself that night, I can tell you, so
and you kept waking me up with all the phone calls, I think, if I remember. So we've got a little bit of we put together a film of the entire rescue. The only thing that we weren't really allowed to film was the actual farm. The farmers were pretty guarded about all that. They didn't even want us to look inside, never mind film inside or anything. So we don't have the film of that, but we've got film of the vans. We've got film of the hens in the vans, and then we've got them being removed, put into the first paddock, and then we frantically had to make a new shed in order to split the population into two. And it kind of really ruined your summer holidays, really, Declan, because you were planning to do the shed in September, weren't you? And you had to bring it forward 2 months,
When the weather cooled down a bit, we were walking all through the heat. Roger, you were great to come down and help as well, so it was brilliant,
But, Do you want to talk about your love of horseflies or not?
Especially that Sunday we were at with horseflies, weren't we?
Yeah, we were bitten by them. So so here's a little film. So we're going to just show you the first minute of the 5. So this essentially is the VIP van, Neville, and this is just before we left for the farm. And then I wanted to just pause on this one because people watching might not know what these are. This farm, this was the first time that they'd sent hens to slaughter, and these were brand new transportation cages. And so these were due within minutes, or at least a couple of hours after we left. These would have been filled with the rest of the hens, put onto trucks and taken to what they described as the factory, which is the Irish way of talking about slaughterhouses. So that's what these are, and these were brand new. So I kind of sneaked a little picture of those because it just seemed so incongruous that we were rescuing 200, and there brand new was all these transportation cages, which kind of 3 hours later would have been filled.
So they belong to the farm, do they? Is it the farm? The farm has to provide those.
We couldn't really work that out, could we, Declan? Because
no,
it was.
I'd say a truck just dropped them off there, and then and then they'd come with more in another truck, and maybe 2 trucks had come to take the rest of them away or something, So
Yeah.
probably
We couldn't quite work that out. Whether the deal is that on the first time you send them, you have to buy a series of the cages, and then you fill them, then they go, and then they drop some more off. I don't know how it works, but
I don't know, Roger. I suppose it saved the trucker a bit of time if they filled them ones, if that some of them filled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose it would. Yeah, but that would then be down to the farmers to do it. Then, well, at least that'd be more gentle than the ones. So these are the hens. These are from.
Yeah.
So that's the sanctuary van, and these are free range hens, Declan, but they were all debeaked. That's right, isn't it?
Oh, they're all debeaked, Roger. Yeah, but they are free range, and that's why we said we try and rescue them. We thought that they'd be more healthier than the ones in the cages, but turns out
you can see here though. There's telltale signs. I mean, the comb on this individual is floppy. That's always a bad sign. And there's quite a few people, when people see the full film on the main show, there are a couple of the hens who look like battery chickens rather than free range ones, and there was quite a lot of them had kind of damage to their backs, and you kind of had a theory about that, didn't you, Dec?
Yeah, I think the water pipes that they drink out, they don't drink out of bowls, and they just pick at a pipe, a little nipple on a pipe to get a drop of water out. And I just looking in the shed for a second, I could see that all the pipes were very low, and the hens were probably creeping under these pipes. That's why a lot of the feathers are missing on their backs, So
I want to just explain this bit of footage. This was taken by the vegan songstress, and the reason that we were filming rather than taking them out, because it was a desperate. I mean, it was a really hot day, so we had to get them out quick. It's just that we had to empty the first van first, the bigger van. And so these ones had to wait until we'd done that. And so the songstress took this film. Now, she couldn't take these out because there was a big cage in the way of this. And so not one person could take that cage out. You needed 2 or 3 to do it. And so if people are wondering, why are you filming instead of taking them out? Well, that's the reason for that. But as you can see, they were pretty heated up at this stage. So they needed to get out in the next few minutes, which we managed to do.
Yeah.
So this is when they first came out of the vans and first went into their first paddock. This is the hens just broken about 20 eggs.
Having the first feed there.
Hello. Hello, what's your name? Hello, what's your name? Yeah, so I just
asking
along this path, what's your name? What's your name? I was doing
Did they all have the same name though, Roger? The kind of
yeah, but they wouldn't tell me what it was. So I mean, like we go around in our human arrogance and naming all these other animals, but they're probably thinking that's not my name. My name.
And I don't always think those names are particularly pleasant, to be honest.
We've got some people in the chat. Vegmet Codbod, Wendy's favourite name.
That's great.
and we got Michael. So hi, Mike. And so, if you don't mind being called Mike, sorry about that. And so we're just doing this quick advert. We're going to probably end in a couple of minutes for the main show on the 12th. Hey, Ronnie, funny how things change. Remember, it used to be called the Glorious 12th, right?
It did. It did. Yeah. Well, it will be a Glorious 12th in a way, because that's when we're doing the show. So it'll be glorious in that sense. It's obviously not glorious for all the birds they shoot, you know, because it's the start of the shooting season or something at 12.
Yeah, grouse
blast off. Yeah, well, there's and of course in previous shows I've told a couple of funny stories regarding the sabbing of the shooting on the grouse moors, and of course there was the time when you fell down a hole, didn't you, on the grouse moor, Roger?
Yeah, ended up
on a stab.
I was really lucky. I could have been
ended up like that. It could have been. It's never been the same since. So, urging people forward with just your head.
So Declan, as we'll show when we show the main film, they're kind of split into two compounds now, so they've got a lot more space. Are they doing okay? I know that the real problem is obviously in terms of the farm, these hens are at slaughter age. So I imagine the chances are you're going to probably get a couple of fatalities and stuff, which is unfortunate, but that's what always happens when the rescue this happens.
We get loads of fatalities and loads of sick ones, you know. we already have 12 ones sick at the moment, you know, and 3 or 4 prolapses as well in that, you know. So
the vet and you are very busy then.
Very busy, Roger. So, like every time we go out to feed them and look at them, you're worried will you get another hen in trouble, you know. So we have to get them quick.
Well, that's an interesting point you make though, because I've seen you kind of looking around, you know, when they're all milling around. You're kind of looking and you're looking at their back ends and all this kind of stuff. And just to see that everything's okay. But you know, one of the things that the farmers say is that they inspect each and every hen every single day, and that's just like impossible.
It's impossible. If you have 10 or 20,000 in the shed, it's just impossible to do. You know, and then that'd be small compared to, you know, 100,000 in some of the sheds of 50,000. You know, so. Impossible to do, you know. But
so, Ronnie, are you going to do your big rally cry and tell everybody about the date and all that, and then we'll go.
Yeah, we want everyone to come along this Thursday evening at 7 p.m. That's Ireland/UK time. If you're elsewhere in the world, it's going to be a different time, but that'd be very easy for you to find out. Please come along. It's going to be a great show. You'll see a lot more of the hens in their new life, where they're a much better time than their previous life, and they're still alive, which is the main thing. It'll be a great show. Lots more stories about my time in prison. We're now on my final. Well, I hope it's my final prison sentence. You never know though these days, do you? Where I was in a prison in Devon called Channings Wood, and there was lots of funny incidents occurred there. I'll be talking about that, and some other funny stories. Is that your last one, well. Is that your last prison? That was my previous. That was the last prison I was in, Channings Wood. It's near Newton Abbot in down in Devon, So you know, it's going to be a good laugh, and it's for a great cause. So do come along on Thursday. Enjoy the show and make a nice donation to Back Into Daylight and support the hens. I mean, you can make a donation already if you like. See the address of the website going across the bottom of the screen, and it's also in, I think, in the event description. And click on donate on there, and you can give some money to help with the costs of all these hens, because it's an extra. It's half as many animals again for the sanctuary to look after, and their vet bills, cost of accommodation, cost of food has all gone up for them, and it's difficult enough for sanctuaries anyway, especially at the moment. So please be generous and come along on Thursday and enjoy the show.
So, with that, I think we're all gonna wave goodbye like good TV people or whatever, and say. So we're going. So thanks a lot.
See you on Thursday.
See you next week.
Right.
Take care.
Bye.